So, part 5. There's only going to be a 4-parter, but might as well get this in as well, coming up here. Nice sunrise over the Adriatic Sea. I wish I was on a ship on the Adriatic Sea on my way to Greece, but I don't think we'll be doing that for a while. I'm going to go past Ancona. There's various places you can catch the ferry for Greece from. Along here you can go from Bari, Brindisi, Ancona, Venice. Oh, there's a few places. I think the most popular one is Ancona, and we're going past Ancona later on. So I will talk briefly about the Greek ferries when I get nearer Ancona. So just passing the junction for Ancona Nord. Ancona Nord is the junction you come off at. You would be coming the other way more often than not anyway. Coming from the UK you definitely would. And you would come off at Ancona Nord if you were going to catch the ferries for Greece. You come off, you come through the péage, you go around about, go straight across. And you pick up the signs for the port, a tiny little white sign with a black picture of a ship. They're really small, but if you look out for them, the port is really well signposted. The signs are, even though they're small, they're really clear to follow, and they take you straight down to the port. You can't go wrong. It's a bit left and right, and there's a roundabout, and there's traffic lights you need to turn at, and then there's a slip road you need to come off at, and eventually brings you down to the port of Ancona. It brings you to a roundabout. You can't see the sea. You think almost that you've come away from the sea. You come to a roundabout where it'll say turn right. It'll say imbarci, which is embarkation in Italian, and that takes you up to the ships. But you don't, and that's the first imbarci sign you see. You follow the little ship sign to that roundabout, then you'll see a sign on the roundabout that says imbarci, turn right. Don't turn right, turn left, because you need to go and book on the ferry first, and the booking offices are not inside the port, they're outside the port. So you get out roundabout, turn left, first opening on the right hand side looks like a car park. Well, it is a car park, but if you park up and walk through that car park, that's where all the ferry booking offices are. They're all together in the office building there. Don't go in the lorry park, you get blocked in. Go past the booking offices. If you can't stop on the road outside, which you probably can't, go around the one-way system and park up on the side of the road outside the lorry park and walk back. Once you've got your ticket, back to the roundabout, straight across, follow it around into the port. You won't get a lane number or anything, or a berth number. They will just give you a ticket with no information on it other than what ferry you're catching. But once you drive into the port, you'll see the ships. Just drive up to the back of the ship you want to catch. Sounds complicated, I think, but it isn't. Be easier to show you, but I don't think that'll ever happen now. I'm going to stop at the services just up here as well. There's a services, in fact I can just see it there now, called Isino. I'm going to stop here for a shower. I know the good showers here and they're free, which they mostly are on the Italian motorway services now. Isino is the place to park as well if you're going to Greece. Isino, Ancona is 2 days driving from Le Havre, and Cannes, you do it in 2 days from Cannes as well. So you can park down at the port if you wanted to, but I wouldn't want to. It's a bit of a dump. It stinks of fish as well because it's a fish port, and Iceno's a lot safer. I'm not saying Iceno is safe, but it's a lot safer than Ancona Port. And there you go. Back in an Italian services. As if just to reiterate really what I was saying in the last one, it's a different setup, but it's exactly the same idea. There's the till over there for the shop. And sorry, I need to pan slower, I've been asked to pan slower. So yeah. And there's the cafe, restaurant bit down there. Exactly the same principle. It's only in Italy they do this. You go and see that chap there, that man there, stood there. Go and see him, tell him what you want, pay for it, you get the receipt, and then you walk over there, give them the receipt. Usually you have to tell them what you want as well, usually sort of shout it across to them really. And then they rip your receipt, give you what you want, and then that's you sorted. It sort of works well. It means queuing up twice normally, is what it normally means. But yeah, it's they all seem to do it that way. There's a truck out there. I like parking like this because I'll sit here where I can see the truck out the window. It's ideal for me, this. It's I do know somebody that's been robbed on these services on the other side going out, but he got his truck robbed and he pinched his diesel cards and a few other bits and pieces. So it's probably just a one-off, but you can never be too careful. Back in the rain again. As you can see by the sun, I'm just coming up past Imola. Get myself out into middle lane. Yeah, I'm going to stop in about an hour. I've only loaded a couple of pallets down at Chieta, and I'm going to so yeah, sorry, I was just concentrating on something else then. Yeah, I only ordered a couple of pallets at the first collection, so I've got the internal door down in the fridge because it's a chill load, so it's set at +3. So I put the door down so the fridge wasn't trying to cool a massive empty space, especially yesterday because it was 40 degrees down there. So I've got the front third of the fridge at +3 and the back is just at an ambient temperature, so I need to stop and open the internal door, which will then set the fridge going at pre-chilling the entire trailer, ready for the rest of the stuff to go in at Verona. So I'm going to stop in about an hour and do that. I'll get myself around Bologna first though. This kind of thing, F16 I should say, there. Nothing unusual about that down here. You see loads of stuff like that. You see loads of Scanias, loads of 142s, loads of 112s, loads of 143s. Get down the south of Italy, you'll see loads of Ivecos, the 190-48, 220-48, that type of era. See all sorts of stuff. Just come round Bologna and there was an accident. So for about 2 kilometres before the accident, the signs were up saying accident at kilometre marker 15 and the right hand lane is shut. And then all the matrix signs went to a red cross on the right hand lane and no entry signs on the right hand lane, so everybody was moving over. And then we got down to the back of the queue and everybody's queuing in the middle lane and the left hand lane. We get down to the accident, it isn't the right hand lane that's shut, it's the left hand lane. So everybody's then having to get over. And they do that all the time. They're so typical of Italy that they'll do it in roadworks. You only get, oh, somebody's lost something here, the middle lane. Debris all over the middle lane here. Dear me. Oh dear, there isn't all. I wish I had the camera facing. Oh, it's just a lump of wood. It's a lump of wood that somebody's driven over. Nothing exciting. You're missing nothing. Yeah, you'll get roadworks and they'll say you only get 350 metres notice for a lane closure on a Italian motorway. They'll say 350 metres, lane 1 shut. We didn't lane 1 that's shut, it's lane 3. They do it all the time. They're mental. So anyway, got myself sorted anyway, got myself around there. Managed to make myself a brew as well in the queue because we stopped for quite a long time and didn't move. So I put the kettle on. Had a text message from the ex-wife as well in case you really needed to know that. I was on my ADR, sorry I'm rambling now. I was on my ADR the other week, had a week off the other week, I was on my ADR and there was a fella there, hadn't been driving long and he was really talkative, really nice fella, but he only did days and he didn't really have the concept of what I do for a living. And he was asking questions and we were chatting, we got on really well. But I said, up until finishing to go on my ADR, I'd been away from home for 10 weeks, because I had. And he said, yeah, he said, but how many nights at home did you get in that 10 weeks? So I said, well, none. That's the whole point of saying I've been away 10 weeks, because I didn't have any nights at home for 10 weeks. And he said, it took him a few minutes to get his head around it. Then he said, oh, he said, I get it. I said, no, I couldn't do that, mate. I said, well, you know, it ain't for everyone. He said, no, that's a single man's game, that is. I said, funny you should say that, that's what the wife thought. So, yeah. It was an amicable split though, I must admit. Went 50-50 on the house. She got the inside, I got the outside. So it all worked out quite well. Obviously, as you can see by the signs, they're just splitting off to go up the A22. Following signs for Verona. The signs for Verona are the signs that take you to Austria. In fact, if you don't turn off this motorway at all, you just keep going straight up. You go past Verona, past the airport on the left, over the A4. Just keep going. You go up past Bolzano, and it brings you out into Austria. You can't go wrong, and you can also come home that way. It's a very, very acceptable way to come home from here, is to come over the Verona into Austria. So I'll be going up to the A4 at Verona Airport and coming off and turning right towards Verona, and probably, well, it definitely signposted for Venice. I don't know why I nearly said probably then, because I know it is. And a couple of junctions down there is where I come off again. The sign for Campo Galliano. Oh, there's a big police control at that junction. Yeah, the sign for Campo Galliano, there's a big parking area at Campo. Very popular. I believe it's gone downhill recently, the last few years. But yeah, if you follow the signs for Campo Galliano into the industrial estate, there's a big truck parking area in there. There's actually a few places around here. There's a parking area at Modena Nord, which is alright, a restaurant there just off the junction. There's a better parking area at Modena Sud. You come off at Modena Sud if you're on your way to Bologna, come off to the peage. Through the peage at T-junction, turn left, and it's down there on the right hand side, and further down again there's another restaurant on the left hand side. You can park on the industrial estate opposite and walk across to the second restaurant, but the first one's got its own parking area. So this is your typical Italian village, Italian town, village, whatever you want to call it. Oh, yeah, okay, so there's a sign on that lamppost there says I can't turn left there. Get a lot of this in Italy. Yeah, just get myself through that. Squeeze my way through. There we go. Yeah, you get a lot of this in Italy where you'll think you can go one way and you can't. Like I said earlier on in the day, loads of weight limits, loads of roads you can't go down. They're everywhere in Italy. And if, like that sign on the lamppost there, I don't know if you caught it, it was truck windscreen height, anything over 5.5 tons got to go straight onto those lights. They mean it. It's not a case of, oh, I'll take a chance and hope I don't get caught. Because that's not the reason they're sending you straight on. If you turn left there, you'll probably find yourself wedged, which is never good. Right, loaded. Verona on my way back. Heading for the UK. So it's been Reading to Dover to Dunkirk, Vialil, down to Martelange, Fuel, Martelange, T-Forms at Sturpenich, Metz, Nancy, Epinol, National 57, Pontellier, into Swiss at Valob, round over the Simplon Pass, exit Swiss at Isau, down to Milan, round Milan, Modena, Bologna, down the A1, all the way down the A1, Rome, tip Rome, round to Chieti, load south of there, about an hour south of there I loaded, head up on the Adriatic coast, Ancona, back to Bologna, Modena, up to Verona, another collection at Verona, and start heading home. About another 30 minutes driving left today and that'll be me done. In the first 3 days I did 28 hours 45 minutes driving, which ain't bad going. I hope it's been easy to follow. It's all straightforward stuff. I always say it, but it is. It's all straightforward stuff. Make another one soon.